And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. Guys, we do have a shocking update with regard to Tommy Robinson for you this evening, and this comes straight from his team themselves. Now, Tommy Robinson, of course, has been in prison now, for a couple of months now, of course, is serving 9 months for contempt of court charge. And on the channel, guys, we have been providing you updates with regard to his current situation. Is in solitary confinement at this moment in time, which is a disgrace in itself. And recently I did state that, from Tommy Robinson's team, that they said that Elon Musk's legal team were going to the UK to help out with some certain situations. However, there's never really been any more updates with regard to that situation. However, we do have an update from Tommy Robinson's team, again, literally moments ago, with regard to his well-being and the way he's being treated in prison, and apparently is being starved at this moment in time, which is absolutely disgraceful and absolutely shocking in itself. We're going to go through the update that has emerged from Tommy's team. We're going to be going through another post as well, and Rupert Lowe has came out again today, not in defense necessarily of Tommy Robinson, but is also going to be chasing up this situation and trying to get answers as to why he is currently in solitary confinement and being treated the way he is. As always, guys, before we get into the update, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and get your thoughts and opinions down there in the live chat. I'll be taking your reaction to this down there in the chat. I'll be bringing it up on the screen a little bit later on. But let's get into this major update, with this shocking update that has come from Tommy's team. So, they posted this urgent update on Tommy's situation. Tommy is in solitary confinement for a non-criminal offence. Now they're trying to starve him. The prison has banned him from ordering food for a week. His only source of nutrition is tinned tuna and mackerel, just because he spoke to his son on speakerphone when on a call to another family member. They've blocked visits, cut off phone access, he's lost serious weight, and his mental health is deteriorating. His human rights have been breached repeatedly. This is a political persecution, plain and simple, and it's so effing spiteful. If they go through with this on Monday, we'll have no choice but to call a protest next week directly outside Wood Hill Prison. So as you can see there, I mean, that's shocking in itself, because anyone in the prison system isn't going to be treated like this. Certainly not going to be in solitary confinement, regardless, no matter who you are. But the fact that the crime or the situation that Tommy's in there for at this moment in time shouldn't be warranting solitary confinement in itself, but also being treated to the point where he's starving. They're literally starving him at this moment in time, according to Tommy's team. Now, just before this post, there was another post that came out from June Slater, and she said this, and we're going to get to what Rupert Lowe said as he responded to this tweet, saying what he's going to be doing regarding this situation. But June Slater said there's a man sitting in a prison cell in solitary confinement, allegedly for his own good. His crime has no victim apart from offending the court. He is surviving from tinned food and crisps because it's likely that the prison food is tampered with. He's not getting visits from his ex-wife or close friends, despite signing NDAs not to discuss their conversations. This embargo was thought to be for a short time because of a public demonstration held 2 weeks ago. The ban continues. He has lost weight. He is severely depressed. This is no way to treat a human being in a first world country. He hasn't driven into a Christmas market. He hasn't bombed a kiddie pop concert. He hasn't broken a policewoman's nose by assaulting one. This treatment is so unique, pertaining to one individual, that I don't even need to name him. I truly hope there is some compassion somewhere, be it in the prison service, politics, or the justice system, that finds the courage to stand up for his basic human rights. If there is, he needs you now. So that's what June Slater said. This was just before we got this update from Tommy's team. However, Rupert Lowe replied to June Slater saying this a little bit earlier on, stating, whether you agree with Tommy Robinson's politics or not, he deserves to be treated humanely in prison with reasonable food, visits and supports. I will write to the Ministry of Justice asking to ensure that a fair approach is being taken. So Rupert Lowe has replied, and he's weighed in on the situation. We've seen him over the last couple of couple of weeks speak fairly vocally in interviews, not begrudged him or anything like that, and just said, he's kind of stood up for him in a certain aspect, if you like. But again here, wading in on the situation. But of course, coming from Tommy's team, Tommy's close friends, the situation looks really, really bad at this moment in time. Now, we provided you with another update a few days ago, and that was that he wasn't able to have visits, and of course was still solitary in confinement. But the situation now with regard to this, now they're trying to starve him, and he's basically living on tin tuna and mackerel just because he spoke to his son on a speakerphone when on a call to another family member. They've also blocked his visits and all this sort of stuff, cut off his phone access. This is mental. This is actually mental, considering the situation that he's in jail for. Obviously, I did get it at the time. He needs to be protected in prison as such, but to this extreme is crazy. He shouldn't be in a place like Woodhill Prison in the first place. He should be in some sort of white-collar jail. I mean, he shouldn't be in jail in the first place, but the fact that he shouldn't be in these prisons that are housing the worst criminals that there is. He should be in more of like an openly prisony place, a white-collar prison place where there is no threat towards him. He certainly shouldn't be in solitary confinement. He certainly shouldn't be being treated like this at this moment in time. So I really do pray for Tommy at this moment in time. Well, regardless of where you stand on Tommy Robinson or not, I know a lot of Tommy Robinson supporters, of course, are subscribed to British Stand, and shout out to you guys. But even if you're not a fan of Tommy Robinson, there's no way an individual should be treated like this in prison for a contempt of court charge, firstly. But then secondly, you're seeing mass murderers, you're seeing other people wouldn't even be treated to this level by the British prison system, which is an absolute disgrace in itself. So I do feel for Tommy Robinson at this time, and of course we're starting to hear reports coming from his team. It's getting really, really bad, and hopefully Rupert Lowe can do his bit there. But my question is to the Tommy Robinson team as well, is the last update, well, not the last update I provided you, but a while ago, a few weeks ago, we reported that Elon Musk was wading in. He was sending his professional team, or he's spending his legal team, to go and help Tommy Robinson with the way he's being treated in prison at this moment in time. And then, of course, looking to represent him on this terrorism charge. However, it doesn't seem as though nothing's being done about it. So my question is, at this moment in time, what's happening with the Elon Musk situation? What's happening with Elon Musk's legal team? Are they there? Are they doing it? Was it just for show? What's happening with regard to Elon Musk at this moment in time is my question, because I have no answers to that. I just provided an update from Tommy's team themselves, and they said that they confirmed that Elon Musk's legal team was being sent in to help, but no further update on this, and his situation is getting a lot worse at this moment in time, currently in Woodhill Prison. So I do feel for him massively, and hopefully something can be done about it. They shouldn't be treating him like this in the first place. They don't treat anybody like this, depending on, no matter the crime that you've done, but especially what Tommy's done, a contempt of court charge. Something stinks here. Something massively, massively stinks with regard to this. It's absolutely disgraceful. Now, guys, I'm going to take some of your reaction, so do get involved in the live chat. I've seen a couple of super chats. We'll take some super chats first, and then we'll go on to the normal chats. But as always, do get involved. Ivan says, this is crazy, while a knife man is let out on bail. I mean, yeah, as I said, we spoke to this morning with regard to that incident. Of course, I mean, I'm laughing. It's actually not funny, but it's just laughable how the way that the British justice system works. But we've seen the situation with the guy that burnt the Quran. He, of course, got arrested, but he was attacked by someone with a knife, and he's currently out on bail at this moment in time before he appears in court on Monday, whilst the other individual was remanded. So you're absolutely right, Ivan. There's something really fishy with regards to our justice system at this moment in time. Another super chat from Ivan as well, saying the UK government is allowing actual torture. This is torture. I mean, the way that he's being treated in prison at this moment in time is quite frankly disgraceful. And they wouldn't get away with doing that to anyone. They wouldn't get away with doing that to anyone. No matter, Axel Rudabakana, for instance. And actually, there's no way I want to put Axel Rudibacana and Tommy Robinson in the same sentence whatsoever, but I'm just trying to pick an extreme just to show you that he won't even be treated like that in prison at this moment in time. And he's the worst of the worst of the worst that you've probably got in the United Kingdom prison system at this moment in time. He wouldn't even be treated like that. That's how crazy it is. Tommy's not even done. No, Tommy's crime had no victim. Tommy's crime is a contempt of court charge. It's a civil offence, essentially. And shouldn't be firstly in Wood Hill Prison in the first place, and certainly shouldn't be in solitary confinement. And now being starved and cut off from his family and loved ones is quite frankly a disgrace. Sharon Ray says, free Tommy Robinson. Absolutely. I mean, look, I think that the next point of call at this moment in time, if you're reading the statement from Tommy's team, is that there's going to be another protest at Wood Hill Prison. If you read there at the bottom, if they go through this on Monday, we'll have no choice but to call a protest next week directly outside Wood Hill Prison. So, of course, they're going to be taking matters into their own hands if they're not going to be getting answers with regard to Tommy. And rightfully so. And absolutely rightfully so. I mean, they can't be living... the human being can't be treated like this, let alone someone that's not really done anything, a violent crime or a crime that had no victim, contempt of court charge. You can't be treating people like this. But I smell something else that's currently going on at this moment in time. I smell something just because of who the individual is in terms of who Tommy Robinson is. I smell something really, really fishy. And they're probably wanting to break him. How is he even in prison for a civil offence? Where is his lawyers? Well, Tommy did plead guilty to the contempt of court charge, just to put it out there, of course. But the way he shouldn't be in Wood Hill Prison, he shouldn't be in there with big time offenders, and certainly shouldn't be in solitary confinement for what he's done. As I said, a civil offence as such, it's not what he did does not warrant this punishment whatsoever. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. When you've got people like Hugh Edwards currently walking the streets, do you know what I mean? This is the way our country is. You've got Hugh Edwards, a nonce, cutting around the streets of the UK right now. I mean, it just shows your priorities. I don't know what happened to that other Labour MP as well, by the way. I don't know what he's been up to recently in terms of the other guy went to meet with a 15-year-old kid, but he's probably still out and not currently in jail at this moment in time. So it just goes to show, depending on your crime, you get treated differently. And to be fair, depending who you are, it's who you are, certainly within this case. NG Kip says it's got Starmer all over it. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me with Keir Starmer, certainly. Freaking melt. Elaine says, Tommy should not be treated this way, and this should be looked into. The whole system is corrupt. Absolutely. Regardless, again, I know I'm going to get a lot of people that are not necessarily supporters of Tommy Robinson that are coming into the chat, and that's okay. You don't have to be a supporter of Tommy Robinson, but this is another human being treated inhumanely within our prison system. It's a damn right disgrace. And if you are just tuning in, guys, Rupert Lowe did say this under one of the tweets and said, whether you agree with Tommy Robinson's politics or not, he deserves to be treated humanely in prison with reasonable food, visits and support. I will write to the Ministry of Justice asking them to ensure that a fair approach is being taken. So we'll see if anything comes from Rupert Lowe's situation, but we'll have to find out with regard to if anything comes back on Rupert Lowe. Another super chat from Ivan. God forbid, but the lid is ready to blow off of this country. I mean, there's just so much fishy things going on right now in this country. There's so much weird stuff that's currently going on, especially with the justice system, that I just can't quite get my head around. But thank you so much, Ivan, again for another donation there. Creating Wealth Together says, seems to be a law on top of the law that we believe is in place. Absolutely. Again, yeah, someone's asking this question. It's probably something maybe I'm going to speak to Maya about, Maya Tusi. Maybe I'll message him about it after this, because he's a lot closer to them in terms of than I am. You know, I think he's a personal connection, I suppose, with Tommy Robinson. But yeah, the most recent update from his team was that I mean, it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? That his team came out 2 weeks ago saying that Elon Musk's legal team was going to be flying in to help him out with the way that he's being treated in prison right now, and then also to help out with a terrorism charge, or one of the terrorism charges that he's apparently got. So yeah, but it's been radio silence since then, and I mean the treatment and the way he's being treated in prison right now is getting worse. So it doesn't look like it's getting better with regard to his current situation. So yeah, I don't know what's actually happening with regard to Elon Musk, but maybe I'll give Maya a message with regard to it and see if there is anything on that one. But guys, anyway, let me know. Let's carry on the conversation in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on the latest update with regard to Tommy Robinson. Absolutely shocking. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And to keep up to date with everything, make sure you do hit the like button, hit the subscribe